Hey everyone, I'm Julianna. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the fundamentals of playing scales on the clarinet. This video might be most helpful for beginning clarinetists, but feel free to share this with someone who might benefit from this information. Before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming tutorials. Now let's get started. So in today's video, we will be focusing on the flat scales on clarinet. I've created a free PDF to go with this video that includes all of the flat scales. I'll leave a link to this in the description box as well as the pinned comment at the top of this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'll be releasing the companion video to this one that covers the sharp scales on the clarinet in the upcoming weeks. And here are the video chapters so you can jump around to the parts that interest you the most. Like I mentioned, this particular video will focus on all of the flat scales on clarinet, so that includes the major scales F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. But we'll start with C major, even though that scale doesn't have any accidentals, or in other words, it doesn't have any sharps or flats. I'll focus on playing only 2 octave scales in quarter notes with a split screen of the fingerings next to me, so feel free to pause this video if you need to. But first, let's go over a little music theory before we go over the fingerings and the scales, so you can have some context of how we build a scale and what it means to use sharps and or flats in your scales. If you are already familiar with the circle of fifths, here's the timestamp to skip ahead to the scales and the fingerings. But if not, stick around. Here is an introduction to the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths is a powerful tool in music theory. Think of it as your musical compass guiding you through the world of keys and helping you understand how they relate to each other. So what is the circle of fifths? Well, the circle of fifths is a visual representation of the relationship between the 12 different pitch classes. It's arranged in a circular fashion with each key spaced a perfect fifth apart from the next. So why is this important? Understanding the circle of fifths is like having a map for navigating through music. It helps you see the relationships between keys, chords, and scales, making it easier to grasp the overall structure of music. Here's the structure of the circle. Number 1, the starting point is always C major. So let's begin at the top of the circle with C major. This is the key with no sharps or flats. As we move clockwise, each key adds 1 more sharp, and as we move counterclockwise, each key adds 1 more flat. 2. Clockwise movement, which is the sharps. Moving to the right adds sharps. So for example, G major has 1 sharp, which is F sharp. D major has 2 sharps, which is F sharp and C sharp, and so on. Remember, each step is a perfect fifth. Number 3, counterclockwise movement, which is our flats. Moving to the left adds flats. So for example, F major has 1 flat, which is B flat. B flat major has 2 flats, which is B flat and E flat, and so forth. Again, each step is a perfect fourth as we move counterclockwise, but it's a perfect fifth as we move clockwise. Now let's move into understanding key signatures. So number 1, the key signature of C major. Like I mentioned before, C major has no sharps or flats. It serves as our reference point. 2, when we're adding sharps, as we move to the right or clockwise, each new key adds a sharp. The order of sharps is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. Now when we're adding flats, as we move to the left or counterclockwise, each new key adds a flat. The order of flats is B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. So memorize the order of flats, which is B, E, A, D, G, C, F, or when you can think of spelling the word bead, and remember GCF as greatest common factor, just like our early math days, right? You can think of the word bead, B-E-A-D, and think of GCF as just standing for greatest common factor. That's a good way to remember it. If you come up with like another mnemonic, to remember this, leave it in the comments so we can all learn from that. Now, conversely, the order of sharps is the reverse of the order of flats. So if you can memorize B-E-A-D-G-C-F, just remember that the order of sharps is backwards from that. So F, C, G, D, A, E, B. In the next section, we'll be moving to the scale demonstration, starting with C major. Now, remember that C major scale is the scale with no sharps or flats, and it's an excellent starting point for beginners. We'll play it slowly, focusing on each note, and pay attention to the fingerings, which will be on a split screen. So congratulations, you've learned the basics of playing scales on the clarinet. Remember, practice is key. Incorporate scale exercises into your daily routine and you'll see steady progress over time. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share with your fellow clarinet enthusiasts. Don't forget to leave any questions or requests for future tutorials in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy practicing.